Okay, so this is the location of the camp. It's on a cliff edge with a nice view. I wanted to create a small camp, but that could contain all of the things that I needed to go adventuring. So this is where the camp is, near the farm there. And there's a nice cliff edge on the background there as well. So this is the footprint of the camp. It's 2 by 2 plus 1. Got some stairs there. I didn't think you'd want to see me putting the foundations down, but there you go. So these are the things that we need for the functionality of the camp. All of the essential workbenches to get by. So starting from the left, we have the armor bench, we have the stash box, the tinker's bench, a generator, some beds, science bench, and the armor bench. Also something to cook on. Okay, let's get started with the walls. I really wanted to avoid having just a block, a rectangular block. I wanted to have functionality again, yet still have something interesting. So I used the wood walls, the wood sections, because there's plenty of trees around and it kind of makes sense. So this is just a process of putting the basic frame together. Again, I wanted a small camp that would be blueprintable that we could use and move around with. The walls are pretty much just your standard wooden walls. There's nothing special about that. So with the basic structure done, we'll add in our benches, starting from the right. With this, I did merge the cooking station in with the cooker. I thought it would it'll fit in the corner of the room better. I did try the one with the pipes on the back, but I just could not get it in. So here again, we're just trying to get this in nice and tight into the corner. It's a small building, so we need as much space to move around in as we can. So all the benches need to be tightly placed against the walls. I was amazed that that fit in just first time. I was really genuinely surprised. Also a byproduct of that bench is it has a nice fire in the corner. Keeps the shack warm, which is nice. So there we go, that's that one in. Now the science bench, I chose this one over the other one because it's just smaller. But thinking about it, it does fit the decor quite nicely. It does look a bit rough. So that went in there quite nicely. So yeah, that's that done. Moving on to the next item. I'm looking at the tinker's bench. I kind of wish there was a smaller profile tinker's bench, but I don't have one. So next in is the beds. Yeah, I went with the bunk beds because the top of the bunk bed can double as extra storage, and I thought in such a compact space, extra storage would be a bonus. So yeah, just trying to get that nice and sheer against the wall. I'll just have another look at that. Yeah, it looks like it's merged into the wall slightly, so I'll just pop that out a bit. Yep, just get that out. Yep, there we go. Sorted. So, yeah, you just got to get these things in right. Moving on to the next thing, which is the generator, and here we go. This is a silent running generator. This got this from the Atomic Shop. It's one of the things that really is helpful, and it's just a smaller profile, so it's nice to jam into corners. Kind of wish there was like another skin for this though, because it's a bit clean given the context that I'm putting it into, but it's the best option I have, so yeah, it is what it is. Yep, so I like to build without the roof on because you can see what you're doing a bit better and you don't get that weird thing of things popping off onto the ceiling. So anyway, I'm just jamming this tinker's bench in. Again, surprisingly it went in first time, so quite happy with that. Helps to put it down and then move it into place. You can pop it, get it closer to the wall. So I hope watching this video it's inspiring or it's helpful just to see what you can do in a small space. That was me hope. Yeah, that marsupial perk kicking in yet again. Maybe should have took some Rad-X before I did this video. And here we go with the weapons bench. Wasn't quite sure how close to put this. I thought about trying to jam it down there, but then I realised it probably wouldn't be able to access that bench. So I decided to move it up here to the doorway, so that's a nice fit there. Yeah, just getting it so it's again flat against the wall. And finally the stash box. So the stash box is really good if you're into building camps, because you can just keep topping it up every time you go out to do something, which is what I do, so I don't really run out of materials. So again, with the stash box, sorry, the scrap box, the skin on it makes it look a bit new compared to the other things, so I kind of again wish there was a kind of a more scruffy looking skin, but who knows what the future might hold. So I'm just testing to see if you can actually use these workbenches, because there'd be no point in putting them there if you can't use them. Yeah, and yeah, you can use them all nicely, which is handy. So that's like the first module, if you will. That's like the very basics. You could just blueprint that with a roof on it, and then that you could move your camp around, and if you're building something, just use that as a temporary structure, so you could still get on with your dailies and what have you. So the next part is the kind of optional extras. So you could just pop your power armor workstation against the outside of the building, and there's no way I was fitting it inside, but I thought it's worth putting an extension on, because I'm not really a fan of just having workbenches out there and in the elements, because I think they'd be quite precious. So the least you would do is kind of put them under cover if it's possible. So I built like an optional extras module on the side of the camp. I wanted it. I kind of imagine that if there's bad weather coming in, you'd want some form of cover. Also, it's kind of acts as a defensive wall barrier for all the gear that you're going to hoard. And I thought to myself, yeah, I kind of didn't want it too uniform, so I thought if we go with the half walls for most of it, and then some kind of fence, but all it looks quite secure. So I thought, yep, that will do. So even though it's not a high traffic area for enemies, I thought to myself it's worth protecting from like the smaller things. I don't think I've seen anything spawn in here, but over the hill I have had Scorched, and I think once I had a super mutant, because I had a base not too far, sorry, a camp not too far from here. Now that the basic structure is done, I'm just going to have a quick check around just to see that everything looks okay. It is all wooden, but I think that the silhouette is, it's okay. So now to add in the extra workbenches and the power armor station, I wanted to try and get that nicely again tight against the wall so that I had more space. I had thought about putting it in the open, but I just figure it's a precious commodity, and if you could put it somewhere safer than you would. So that was my thinking why I put it there. These are the fermenting, I think it's the fermenter. I think the other one's called the brewer. The brewer and the fermenter, maybe. I don't really use these, but they look really nice. I might start brewing some stuff at some point. But I feel like it gives the shack a lot more character. It looks like maybe like the secret moonshine shack that's out of the way, because the main farm is over the hill, and this is where the naughty stuff might go on. Yeah, but if they fit together really nicely, and I like the weathered look that they have. I think that's really nice. The detail on them is awesome. This is the tour. All in all, I'm quite happy with this build. I do feel there's some improvements that could be made. I think I could make more of the wall decoration. I think I could do a better job of that, but all in all, I think it's got all the essentials, and it's not bad to look at. You couldn't obviously blueprint it in its current state, but the basic core of it you could. It's still got a small footprint, and then it doesn't take up a huge amount of the build budget. I feel like the theme of this is like a bootlegger kind of outpost / shack that's round the back of a farm, so it's like this is where the nefarious activities go on. and then this maybe was before the war, so when the war came, things didn't really change, just the clientele. This is the kind of theme I wanted to go with. I didn't want just a massive grey and brown. I wanted a bit of colour, so the plants are there. It's like as if they're experienced living off the land. Yeah, so I'm quite happy with this build. I think it's easy enough to do, so I hope this was helpful to anybody who saw it, maybe give some ideas. A nice small footprint. So thank you again. Thanks for watching. Bye.